Put it to the far side. Here's a lead. There's going to be a Hawk penalty. Grimson just grabbed the jersey of Bob Basson. Thing to be aware of throughout this series. The Hawks' ability shorthanded. Here comes Jeff Brown. A shot right on rebound. Quinn. His shot blocked beautifully by Wilson. The center, Scott Stevens. Put it to the far side. Brindamore trying to cut to the net. Keith Brown cut him off. Now back to the near point is Jeff Brown. Up the boards to Oates. Gave it back to Brown to Stevens. Far side. Hall is scored. Brett Hall, a rocket with a one-timer. Blew it by Belfour from the face-off down on the far side. 1-0. St. Louis, number 79 for the great Gretzky.
Well, anybody else shooting the puck from there would be a bad goal. But Brett Hall gets it away so fast and gets so much on it in a hurry. Stevens faked the shot, slipped it over, and Hall with a one-timer before Belfour could get down and was in and out. What a blast from Brett Hall, his 79th goal of the year, and now his 10 goals in 7 straight games. He had a 13-game goal-scoring streak stopped by the Blackhawks when he pumps in a power play goal.
Taken by Gino Cavallini, then Murray took him off the play, and it's cleared to the near corner. Hall picked it off to Oates. He centered it, tipped right in front, and lays loose. Oates, and a save by Belfour. Rebound into the glove of Belfour as the Blues swarm the Hawk net, and Belfour able to hold him off in that sequence. Feeding to Brown, gave it back to Oates. It hopped away from him, and Murray able to bang it to center ice. Adam Oates. Right back over the Hawk line. Now lost, and Larmer racing away. He's got a breakaway. Larmer's in alone. Here's a shot. He scores! Larmer! A shorthanded goal for the Hawks. Their 20th of the year. That's the 20th that the Blues have allowed. And we mentioned that the Blues are vulnerable with shorties, and the Hawks take advantage. This game is tied at 1.
Doug Wilson, sensational play at the blue line. Forced the turnover. He forced it at the line. He forced Oates. He made a drop pass, and Larmer picked it up, and then he just pulled away from Brown. Brown, who's been out with a bad ankle, a questionable starter, just can't catch up with Larmer. He tried to hook him. Larmer pulled it away, and then he put it through the legs of Jablonski and into the net for another shorthanded goal. That's 4 shorthanded goals for the Blackhawks in their last 4 periods of hockey.
Steve Larmer scores his second shorty, his 42nd goal of the year. And back of the net is Belfour. He gave it away. Ron Wilson in the corner. Back of the net, Brindamore moves in the wraparound. Belfour the save, and he holds on after Belfour made a giveaway. Now works his way to center. The Blues pulling right back, so Wilson dumps it in. Aired around to the near side. Wilson trying to keep it in. Basson stole it. The race is on. Basson with Manson trying to catch him. Basson got off the shot. He scores! Bob Basson, a short-handed goal. He pulled away from Wilson. Manson trying to catch him, but he couldn't get there. And a great effort by Basson puts the Blues back in front 2-1.
Ed Belfour was not in very good position, though, on that particular shot. The only place that Basson could go was to his backhand as Manson dove. Puck took a hop off Wilson. He stopped. Roenick fell down. Basson just took off. Manson tried to catch the speedier Basson. Dove, didn't get the puck. Basson protected the puck, but Belfour was leaning to his right and had his pad to his left. It hit him and deflected into the net. He didn't have good coverage on Basson because Basson only had one place to go, and it deflected through his legs and then off himself and into the net.
Feed Quinn. Now a lead for Bruce, and he kicked it ahead into the Hawk zone. And he gave McGill a big hit in the corner. McGill came back on him. He's going to get a penalty, and maybe both. Now they drop the gloves. McGill and Bruce have dropped the gloves, trying to go at one another. And a left hand from Bruce, and McGill answers with several short rights. They both lost their headgear. And now wrestling as the linesmen look for an opportunity to move in. And now they do. Now Bob McGill and David Bruce with a scuffle. Paul Cavallini put it to the far side. Keith Brown will hold it in with a long shot. Jablonski gave a rebound, but Larmer knocked down. A good play by the Blues defense. As Butcher knocked Larmer down, he would have had a great rebound chance. Keith Brown now with another long shot, missing the net. Here's Russell squaring off at center ice with the Kimball. Darren Kimball and Cam Russell squaring off now. The linesmen are going to let him get started, and now Kimball with a right hand. He's jackhammered Russell, and Russell answers, and Kimball is hurt. Darren Kimball put 3 or 4 on the jaw of Cam Russell, and all of a sudden the Chicago player landed a big right hand, and Kimball's knees buckled. And now they're separated, and they'll head off to the dressing room.
Well, Kimball surprises Russell, catches a couple right off the bat. And then Russell teed off after getting about 4 or 5 rights himself, and then got Kimball off balance and landed a couple of his own.
Flipping his head from one side to the other, and Probert sort of backed off in the latter stages of the fighter. He really could have done some major damage on Kimball, but the officials who worked that game couldn't believe how one-sided it was. And then Probert just gave Kimball a real lesson. Now the play is in the blue zone. Here's a shot and a save by Jablonski. Rebound Wilson. Jablonski rebound. They score! The third chance was put in by Roenick. And the Blackhawks have tied the game at 2. And now we got another brawl around the net as all the players are pairing up. After Roenick popped in the third chance for the goal, he was leveled by a Blues player, and now everybody is pairing off, and Graham being held apart from a St. Louis man by the linesman.
Well, Stevens going absolutely nuts after the goal went in, started flailing away at everyone in sight that had a red jersey on. And Graham wanted to get at him, and then Manson came in, and finally they both get. The officials do a great job of preventing any further mess.
They really did. They were on the spot in a hurry there, and they had to be. If they're a couple of seconds later than they were, we got a full-scale situation, it would have appeared.
And Scott Stevens just going berserk after the goal went in. He started swinging from the left and right at anybody that had a red jersey on. Roenick's first shot was stopped. Then Wilson came in. His shot deflected right in front. Then Roenick flipped at it. Stevens just knocked Roenick down and then started swinging at everybody in sight. And then Manson came in. Thomas Graham. Then Graham gave Stevens a sneak attack. But the officials do a great job. Heyer, Finn, and Maruelli, all of them, get in a hurry to prevent maybe a potential riot. Roenick's first attempt stops at the goal mouth. It's hacked loose. Doug Wilson's shot saved by Jablonski. Jablonski then couldn't stop the attempt. Lowry gives Roenick a whack and shoves him right into Stevens. What's Roenick to do in that situation? Stevens takes exception to it, and then Graham comes in, and Stevens is swinging at everybody. Scott Stevens, 25th in the all-time penalty list in the NHL.
And Dale, unless he has a big finish in his penalty minute total, this is going to be the lowest number of penalty minutes in his 9-year career.
Basson goes down. Yanni gives him an extra shove. That's the penalty. And then a vicious two-hander from Basson on his back. I don't know if Maruelli is going to call.
Puck lays loose there. The Blues dig it out. To the deep slot. Here's Oates faking the shot. He slipped at a shot, and a save by Belfour on Quinn. Great move by Oates, who looked like he's going to pull the trigger, then made a nice slip pass over to Quinn for Lowry, but it's knocked away. Here's Larmer on the counterattack. He has Goulet coming, then Larmer shoots, and a save by Jablonski. Now the rebound to Hall. He's in, a breakaway. Brad Hall, the shot, and a save by Belfour. And he holds on. Brad Hall narrowly missing number 80.
That's Brett Hall from scoring a second of the night and 80th of the year.
Face off in the Hog zone. Cavallini, his pass up the boards, deflected by Larmer to Roenick. Here's he comes racing ahead. 2-on-1. Roenick over the line for Larmer. The shot and a save by Jablonski. Great save by the Blues netminder on a 2-on-1. Weaving over the Hawk line, got around one check, then knocked down, but he got it to Brindamore to Hall. The shot right on, and a save by Belfour. And he hangs on. Rick Mahar in on Cam Russell. He leaves it for Ron Wilson. The return pass is picked off by Roenick. Then the Blues get it back. Wilson, big save by Belfour on Ron Wilson.
Gets by Roenick. Mahar back to Wilson, and an excellent save by Belfour to move across and prevent the go-ahead goal.
Now at center ice, Steve Larmer shooting it in. Back of the net goes Goulet. A big collision there with Stevens. Then Creighton dug it out. Tied up, though, by a much smaller Dan Quinn. It came loose to Larmer. He scores! Steve Larmer! After Creighton jammed it loose along the boards, Larmer whipped it by Jablonski with a low wrister. Second goal of the game for Larmer, and the Hawks lead for the first time. 3-2.
Well, one of the reasons Quinn has been traded so often, he's trying to hit a much bigger guy. He's got one hand on his stick, trying to pry the puck loose. Creighton outmuscles him, gets it to Larmer, and Larmer scores. Quinn has got to have at least two hands on the stick and try to work Creighton over somehow to prevent him from getting the puck out to Larmer. But Scott Stevens has been running all over the place, especially here in the second period. Almost out of control.
Manson holding it in with good help from Troy Murray. Here's Manson, the shot blocked by a sprawling Stevens. Greg Gilbert trying to feed Larmer. He had a half a step on his check, but the pass is stolen. Back comes Quinn over the line, walks into the slot, shoots. Belfour with a blocker, made a good stop. Back of the net, Stevens digs it out, centering. Deflects to Quinn, his long shot, and a save by Belfour in traffic. Rebound to the near side, a shot gloved by Belfour. What a job by Ed Belfour. And now Stevens and Manson drop the gloves, and these two heavyweights are going to be kept apart as again Finn and Heyer get to the scene in a hurry. Meanwhile, a Blues player all over Belfour and Wilson all over Dave Lowry.
Tries to surprise Belfour by throwing one from behind the net, hoping for a deflection, and then Belfour just leveled Quinn, and then Manson and Stevens drop the gloves, and the officials get in a hurry.
Hudson for Chicago, feeding Roenick. Gets into the blue zone on Butcher. Roenick around him, shoots. Butcher stuck out the leg and tripped Roenick. He still got rid of a shot, and a good save made by Jablonski. Now Rod Brindamore in on Wilson. Brindamore cuts in, centered it. Featherstone shoots. Belfour the save. Rebound Bruce. The shot is blocked, and a good play by Goulet. Now Jeff Brown a shot. That doesn't get through. Heath Brown couldn't get it by Cavallini. A long shot. Belfour stopped it, gave a rebound. Chip just wide. Richard Sutter missed by an inch of tying the game. Behind the net, then Thomas in there to dig it out. Thomas walks in front, shoots. Jablonski the save, and he covers before Presley or Creighton could get to the loose puck. Minnesota had a big edge in play, and boy, the North Stars have really turned their fortunes around. Here's a 2-on-1 for the Hawks. Creighton with Gilbert. Creighton the shot, and a save by Jablonski, and he gives no rebound. As the Hawks had a 2-on-1, but the Blues stay close with a key save made by Pat Jablonski. Now we're halfway through the third. 3-2 Hawks. Here's Hall over the line trying to muscle in. He lost the handle. Belfour sweeps it away. It's held in by Cavallini. The shot. Belfour stopped it. Rebound Creighton. He cleared it ahead to center. Thomas racing after it. Barrels over the line. Shoots. Jablonski the save, and he hangs on. And the goaltenders at either end shining in that sequence. Dirk Graham couldn't get it out. A long shot from Featherstone is deflected to Thomas. He feeds to Graham. Graham battles to the line. Dropped it to Thomas. Around a check. He walks in. Centered it. Here's a shot. Jablonski! A great save on Murray to keep the Blues in it.
As it came off his skate, a little more lively than he had anticipated. But Jablonski, give him credit. He's made the saves here in the third.
Play continues as Sutter gets to the Hawk line. Left it for Mahar. A centering pass. Tip. Belfour the save. Rebound is loose, and now covered up by Belfour with help from Goulet, and a big scuffle again around the Hawk net. And the Blues with a opportunity to get the equalizer. Didn't miss by much there, and now Sutter and McGill are wrestling back and forth. And Creighton has a shove for Sutter. McGill wants at him, but Maruelli so far being able to hold them apart. And now everybody else separating as well. Stevens trying to keep it in, did to the corner. And now a hand pass is ruled as Stevens gloved it. And the next to touch it was Lowry, and now a face full of glove for one of the Hawk players as Lowry and Stevens were both there. It may have been Cam Russell who ate some leather there. And Russell who got in quite a scuffle with Kimball earlier in the game. And have we even seen Darren Kimball since then? Maybe one shift after. I don't think we might have even touched the ice after he seemed to have an edge on Russell in the bout, and then Cam put a right hand on the jaw of Kimball that buckled his knees. And Cam Russell coming up from Indianapolis for the game tonight with the banishment of Chelios. What a strong game he's had.
And then Lowry just drifted him, not once but twice. Got him a straight arm right under the neck and the chin area, and Goulet went down. And a stupid play on Lowry's part in a 3-2 hockey game.
Up the near side to Larmer. He's tied up along the boards. Hull poked it free to Oates. 15 seconds. Here's Oates over the line. He trying to move in. He does. Here's Oates. The shot. He didn't get it off. And at the side of the goal, a penalty's going to be called against Chicago. What a yeoman-like effort from Adam Oates. He tossed out of there. I think he is again. So Roenick will come in against Oates. And Roenick won the draw to the near corner. Wilson hacked at it. They scramble along the boards. Blues dig it out to Hull. The long shot off the skate of McGill and wide. Held in by Jeff Brown. Here's the last shot. It's deflected wide. Hawks win. Hawks win. The Blackhawks have picked up their 20th road victory of the year. The 40th win of the year for Ed Belfour, who adds to his Blackhawk record. And Chicago extends the lead over the Blues to 3 points on top of the Norris division. And an ecstatic band of Blackhawks who faced a major week this week with 4 straight games against first place teams. The Blues, when the week started, were tied for first. And the Hawks beat the Rangers, they beat the Kings, and now they win on the road in St. Louis. And Chicago is first overall again in the National Hockey League with a total of 94 points.